In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Party Chief chairs meeting of Central Policy and Strategy Committee. Later on, ASEAN Future Forum 2025 incubates ideas for a stronger region. And in a world news, Russia and Ukraine after 3 years of fighting.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is currently 8 a.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Lin Lei with the latest updates. Now, on Monday afternoon, Party General Secretary Theo chaired a Central Policy and Strategy Committee of a meeting focused on economic growth in 2025 and the years to come. More on this in the following.
Participants acknowledged the challenges while supporting the ambitious target of 8% or higher growth this year. They emphasized the need for strong commitment and proposed key solutions to overcome challenges. Among those crucial tasks, strengthening the role of every economic sector, particularly the private sector, is seen as a top priority, followed by leveraging high-growth regions to drive national development. Other solutions floated were maximizing domestic market potential and prioritizing human resource development. The party chief endorsed these strategies and stressed the importance of nationwide participation in achieving this bold goal.
Everyone must contribute to realize this goal. Every economic sector must actively join forces. No one should rely on others. We must all advance together. The state's role is to create enabling policies and conditions for this collective effort.
To ensure sustainable growth, the party chief also outlined an approach that strengthens long-term economic fundamentals to prevent risks while promoting consumption, investment, and exports.
We must cut administrative burdens by reducing at least 30% of business costs and eliminating 30% of unnecessary business regulations. Currently, 2,000 conditions hinder business operations, and streamlining them would create a more dynamic business environment. Legal system modernization is also crucial. We must specialize in legislation to support emerging sectors like financial technology and artificial intelligence. Lastly, we must implement pilot legal frameworks for innovative economic initiatives.
The party chief also called for a dedicated legal framework for special economic and technological zones and for establishing tax-free seaports similar to Singapore's to attract global investment and enhance competitiveness. He also instructed incorporating feedback from the meeting into a new resolution on the private economy. This resolution will be submitted to the Politburo for consideration in the second quarter of this year.
State President Leung Keung chaired the first 2025 meeting of the Central Steering Committee for Judicial Reform on Monday morning. The committee announced its reorganization, outlining its functions, duties, and working relationships, with the state president leading a team of 15 members. Recognizing the progress made in judicial reform, the state president called on judicial agencies to maintain discipline and implement breakthrough measures to enhance investigation, prosecution, adjudication, and enforcement processes. He urged swift completion of related proposals and regulations while emphasizing the importance of advancing IT applications and digital transformation to boost the efficiency and quality of judicial activities. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with Thai Foreign Minister Marit Sangiampong on Monday. At the meeting, he emphasized the need to strengthen high-level exchanges, boost bilateral trade to $25 billion, and enhance cooperation in infrastructure, tourism, security, digital transformation, and green energy. He also called for the effective implementation of the Three Connection strategy and greater support for the Vietnamese community in Thailand. In response, the Thai Foreign Minister reaffirmed Vietnam's importance as a key regional partner and pledged to work closely with both governments to prepare for the Thai Prime Minister's upcoming visit. The ASEAN Future Forum was first proposed by Vietnamese Prime Minister Phie at the 43rd ASEAN Summit. Following 2024's success, Vietnam hosts this key event for the second time, reaffirming its commitment to fostering regional solidarity and development amid an increasingly complex global and regional landscape. More on this in the following.
Themed Building a United, Inclusive, and Resilient ASEAN in a Changing World. This year's forum will center around 5 key discussions, including major global and regional trends affecting ASEAN, ASEAN's core principles in addressing challenges, enhancing sub-regional cooperation, governance of emerging technologies, and strengthening ASEAN's cohesive role.
This forum itself is an initiative mobilizing collective intelligence through the synergy of government representatives and academics. This interactive space fosters new ideas, contributing to ASEAN's growth and resilience. The forum is seen as an idea incubator. It serves as a platform for policymakers, officials, and scholars to generate new initiatives and long-term strategies for the ASEAN's future.
As the ASEAN region faces growing challenges, including intensifying geopolitical competition, climate change, and economic uncertainties, the forum is crucial for discussing the region's way forward.
Challenges come with opportunities. This is a defining moment for ASEAN and Vietnam to harness their strengths, deepen cooperation, and build greater trust. ASEAN must serve as a model of solidarity and proactive leadership, not just for the region, but for the world.
This year also marks the 30th anniversary of Vietnam's accession to ASEAN. As the ASEAN Future Forum 2025 host, Vietnam cements its position as an active and responsible member. Vietnam commits to shaping a united, self-reliant, and sustainably developing ASEAN community through the forum.
Prime Minister Phie has issued an official dispatch calling for intensified efforts to lower lending rates to support businesses and spur economic growth. The Prime Minister instructed the State Bank of Vietnam to immediately inspect and monitor banks with increased deposit rates and ensure compliance with legal regulations and governmental policies. Violations will incur strict penalties, including possible credit growth limits and license revocation. The central bank must report its finding by February the 28th. The central bank was also tasked with closely supervising interest rates movements and taking decisive steps to lower lending rates. All aim to ensure that businesses and individuals can access affordable credit to drive production, stabilize the economy, and control inflation. In other news, Vietnam's FDI prospects remain strong according to major global organizations like HSBC, Eurocham, and Standard Chartered. Beyond growth in quantity, project quality is improving due to a strategic focus on high-tech and energy industries.
The Block B O Mon Gas Power Project, Vietnam's largest oil and gas initiative and a key national energy project, is backed by $12 billion of investment. As it nears completion, the Japanese investor has strengthened technical personnel and expertise to accelerate progress, aiming for the first gas flow by 2027.
We are honored to contribute to Vietnam's energy security and transition. As a long-term, capital-intensive project, a stable legal framework is crucial to ensuring uninterrupted investment and timely execution.
More U.S., European, and Japanese enterprises are expanding investments in Vietnam's low-emission energy and high-tech industries. This increase in capital contributions and share purchases reflects a growing demand for capable local partners.
With a one-team, one-goal spirit, we and our partners leverage advanced technology, innovation, and digital transformation to enhance project management and execution.
The European Business Association in Vietnam highlights that synchronized policies on high-quality FDI, technology, value chains, and tax incentives will boost investor confidence in digital and green transformation and foster green industrial zones. Some businesses expect up to 40% revenue growth this year.
I think it will also attract and create a lot of opportunities for European companies. Europe is very strong in green energy, it's very strong in railways, and those are projects that are foreseen already to happen. I also believe that another important trend to single out is the administrative reform.
International organizations highlight Vietnam's strong policies on technology, innovation, digital transformation, infrastructure, and financial hubs as key advantages in attracting FDI and enhancing regional competitiveness.
Coming up next on VTV News. Agricultural byproducts drive green fashion production in Vietnam. And later on, Cham villagers celebrate Ramadan festival. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now, Vietnam is set to produce thousands of highly skilled, internationally certified professionals in smart car software over the next 2 to 3 years. This milestone results from a collaboration between FPT Corporation and the Indian Cranes Varsity Institution. Through this partnership, Vietnamese students will gain access to an internationally standardized smart car software development program, equipping them with essential knowledge and skills in automotive software engineering. Upon graduation, students will be qualified for automotive software development testing and infotainment system engineering roles. As the global automotive electronics and software market is projected to reach $462 billion by 2030, this initiative ensures that Vietnam remains competitive in the global, fast-evolving automotive technology sector. The world is gradually transitioning from fast fashion to green fashion, and Vietnam is catching up with this trend by increasing the use of natural, eco-friendly materials. This shift not only provides an opportunity for Vietnam textile industry to enhance its competitiveness and meet market demands, but also helps to make use of agricultural byproducts, which have long been underutilized.
Skirts, algae, slippers, and eye-catching accessories, all crafted from pandan leaves or banana stems. These natural fiber garments are becoming increasingly popular, forming a niche market of green consumers.
Consumers prefer to choose natural products made by the Vietnamese themselves. These products evoke a sense of pride in Vietnamese consumers.
This is one of the first units to produce pandan leaf fiber on an industrial scale. For every 100 kilograms of pandan leaves, nearly 2 kilograms of raw fiber are obtained. Markets in Japan, South Korea, the UK, and the US welcome fabrics made from pandan leaf fibers.
Our customers are not only concerned with the materials, but also care about the entire production process. They want to know whether the process uses chemicals or harms the environment in any way.
This is the production line for shirts made from natural fibers. 2025 marks a turning point for many major fashion brands, as Vietnamese manufacturers are required to increase the proportion of natural fibers in each product. This presents an opportunity to utilize agricultural byproducts and align with the global green fashion trend.
Raising the proportion of products made from natural materials is a choice for businesses and a demand from the market. By doing so, we can maintain Vietnamese businesses' competitive position.
Banana stems, sugarcane bagasse, pandan leaves, and over 150 million tons of agricultural byproducts are materials for the textile industry and a goldmine for the circular economy.
Multiple localities in Vietnam have reported cybercrimes involving deepfake technology, where criminals manipulate public images and videos to blackmail individuals. Victims have lost millions of US dollars to these fake videos. Authorities urge people to exercise caution, minimize sharing personal information online, and report any fraudulent activities.
Criminals create manipulated, sensitive images and pose as private investigators to blackmail victims. They specifically target wealthy individuals, threatening to damage their reputations by posting these fake images on social media. Once a victim makes an initial payment, the criminals continue demanding more money until they run out of funds.
Criminals use AI and deepfake technology to manipulate images of reputable individuals or others online, creating fake videos featuring those images.
The Ministry of Public Security reports that victims who call back the criminals' phone numbers are then directed to malicious links or other channels. This leads to extortion and blackmail, and in some cases, the criminals can gain complete control of the victim's phone.
The criminals pressure the victims, causing them to lose their composure. Once the victim has made the first payment, they manipulate their emotions to convince them to transfer increasingly larger amounts of money.
To protect against these scams, the Ministry of Public Security recommends safeguarding personal information during online activities. Avoid sharing sensitive documents on social media, including personal details, ID cards, health insurance, and vehicle registration, whether they belong to you or others. Don't click on unfamiliar links in messages or emails, and only download apps from your phone's official app store.
Smartphones have evolved beyond calls and texting to become powerful tools for transactions, money transfers, and payments. Through digital channels, banks now process 95% of all banking transactions, saving both time and money. To keep up with this increasing demand, banks are constantly enhancing their mobile banking apps with user-friendly interfaces and practical features.
Kain's company makes suits and regularly imports materials. Previously, paying suppliers with cash was time-consuming. Now, with electronic banking services, he finds the process much more convenient.
With mobile banking, I can transfer money to suppliers, saving time and travel costs, while ensuring security. I can also make online savings deposits.
For office workers, mobile banking offers a convenient way to pay bills, tuition fees, and make electronic purchases.
Before, I had to pay my bills in person, but with mobile banking, I can easily pay all of them with just a few steps. It's very convenient for office workers like me.
I usually shop and make transactions online. As a travel enthusiast, I often book flights and hotel rooms through electronic banking apps. It's very convenient, quick, and cost-effective, with frequent discounts on these apps.
According to the State Bank of Vietnam, the interbank payment system processes an average of 32.5 billion USD daily, with 95% of transactions conducted through digital channels. In 2024, cashless payments in Vietnam surpassed 17 billion transactions.
The Ta Phu Kỳ Le Temple Festival in Lạng Sơn, a national intangible cultural heritage, concluded on Monday with the vibrant firecracker festival and a grand palanquin procession. Blending rituals, folk games, and performances, the event honors historical figures who defended the area and shaped Kỳ Le Market Town. This year saw a record-breaking number of visitors, making it the most successful edition yet. The Islamic Cham villages in Ninh Thuận and Bình Thuận provinces are on their busiest days of the year, preparing to celebrate the Ramadan festival, or as the locals called it, the Ramuan festival. This year's festival will take place from February the 26th to the 28th, and it is a significant occasion for the Cham people to connect with their roots and strengthen their solidarity.
This Chump village is busy preparing for the Ramuan festival.
People from the village, even those who have been working far away, have all returned home. The Ramuan festival is always a time for family reunions. Everyone gathers, sharing love and warmth and preparing offerings to visit the cemetery, an important ritual that allows everyone in the village to reflect on and honor their roots.
Whether in times of hardship or prosperity, the heart of every Chump person is always directed towards their roots.
Ninh Thuan is the province with the largest Chump population in the country, with over 85,000 people. In recent years, the Chump community has used innovations in agriculture to create new livelihoods and generate higher incomes.
Ramuan is an important occasion for our people. We are happy that the local authorities pay great attention to our occasions.
The rituals to honor their ancestors. This weekend, the Islamic Chump villages will enter the Ramadan month, a time for prayer, reflection on spiritual teachings, and good deeds. Everything is directed towards a peaceful and prosperous life.
Coming up next in our world news. Russia and Ukraine after 3 years of fighting. And 2032 asteroid collision risk recedes. Moving on to our world news, it is now 3 years since the outbreak of the armed conflict between Russia and Ukraine. At this moment, efforts are underway for a ceasefire amid continuous fighting. After 3 years, Russia has gained control over 4 regions of Ukraine: Kherson, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Luhansk, which comprise about 20% of Ukraine's territory. On the Ukrainian side, the military has been both defending and counterattacking, even carrying out bold, small-scale assaults targeting locations within the Russian territory in the Kherson province. Over the past 3 years, Ukraine has received support from Western countries. The US and the EU have provided Ukraine with over $300 billion in aid. The EU alone has imposed 16 rounds of sanctions aimed at Russia. As the fighting in Ukraine enters its 4th year, the world is witnessing efforts to restart negotiations to bring peace to the Ukrainian people.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa arrived in Kiev on Monday to discuss the Ukraine situation, as developments surrounding the conflict are rapidly changing. According to Ukraine, the extraordinary meeting in Kiev brings together leaders from 13 European countries and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The United States is pushing for peace talks to be initiated, and Europe is concerned that it could be left out of this process. The details of a peace agreement remain unclear. However, analysts suggest it must address many thorny issues, notably territorial concerns, the potential for Ukraine's NATO membership, and addressing Russia's security concerns. In his latest statement, Ukrainian President Zelensky declared that he is willing to trade his presidency for NATO membership. If it's for peace in Ukraine, and you truly want me to step down from my position, I am willing to do that. I could exchange my presidency for NATO membership if such an opportunity arises. Meanwhile, Russia maintains its firm stance that the root causes of the conflict must be completely addressed in order to achieve lasting peace. This means Russia's demands for security guarantees rather than temporary ceasefires. Crucially, Ukraine must abandon its goal of NATO membership. Thus, the differences in interests are vast, posing a significant challenge to finding a solution that both sides can agree on soon. In this context, the acceleration of dialogue between the US and Russia is still seen as a positive development.
Indonesia launched its new sovereign wealth fund, Danantara, on February the 24th, the latest initiative by President Prabowo Subianto to deliver on his ambitious economic growth target of 8% within his first term. The fund's assets, planned to be more than $900 billion, aim to boost Indonesia to developed economy status. Danantara will hold government stakes in state firms and is intended to operate like Singapore's investment arm Temasek. In its first round of investment, Danantara will put $20 billion into more than 20 projects in artificial intelligence development, renewables, and as well as food production. Asteroid 2024 YR4, a large space rock, has been in the spotlight since it was discovered in December last year. Alarms about the asteroid were first raised when scientists found it might be on a collision course with Earth in 2032. The asteroid appears to be between 40 and 90 meters wide and could generate a deadly blast should it hit a city. However, the world's space agencies have reduced the chances of asteroid 2024 YR4 impacting Earth to 0.28%, which suggests that a potentially devastating collision will be avoided. Although near-Earth objects remain a long-term threat, space agencies worldwide have developed strategies to mitigate the potential impacts. Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast for Vietnam and other locations in the world. And that is all that we have this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download a mobile app, VTVgo, for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.